Hey folks, this is my second short video where I'm responding to a question from the NonFiction Authors Association. So they sent out this opportunity to ask yourself some questions. They call it an interview, but you're just basically answering some questions, and then they post them online and you get to share the link. So I thought it'd be much more fun to read to you or to share with you some of the answers that I had for that interview. It was a really interesting experience. So the one that I want to talk about today is the question that they asked about: how do you hope your book impacts the world? And to tell you the truth, I wasn't really thinking about that when I wrote the book, wrote my memoir. I was just needing to tell the stories. It's like, for me, impacting my own life, felt like I couldn't really get on to the next thing. Like, what's the next place that I'm going in terms of my own pursuit of happiness? And until I was able to capture those stories and put them out there. So for me, the impact's been huge, because I do feel like I've reached another level of existence on the planet. It's really helped me a lot. But in terms of impacting the world, I think the larger story is, there are a few things. One is that, I don't know if you're an educator or not, but if you go look online for books about teaching, pretty much all you're going to find, a lot of what you're going to find, is books about building certain skills, technology, or dealing with parents, managing kids in a classroom, quote unquote, a lot of curriculum guides, those kinds of things. And there are very few books that to tell you the truth, I can't even think of one, where you get an inside look at what it's like to be a teacher, especially a first-year teacher. And I do know that even after a fairly long hiatus from teaching high school, when I came back to teaching high school, even after having more than 2 decades of experience as a teacher educator, I felt like I was starting all over again. It was Shishmaref all over again, but without the seals and the sand. And so I just thought that this book, the way I wanted to impact the world, is I want people to appreciate the emotional part of being a teacher, which is constant, of course. All the decisions that you're making, and kind of the heartache of it all, and the joys and the frustrations, and the humor. So that, to me, is an important part of the story, and how I want people to hopefully appreciate teachers more, to understand what it is that they go through on a more regular basis. And another impact of the book, it actually ended up being a couple chapters toward the end, and then decided to remove that and make that more part of something I talk about at book talks and different events. But that is the impact, people being much more aware of the impact of pushing their culture onto another one and using the system of school to do it. I was very conflicted as I got to understand a little bit more about living in the village of Shishmaref and the culture that I represented, which was, for the most part, it was the culture that was decimating theirs in many, many ways. And that was hard. I did not want to really be a part of that. So I think it's important for us to realize the impact that we have on people around the planet when we bring one set of values and impose it on another group of people. So those are the big takeaways for me. And anyway, those are the first things that come to mind. All right, I hope you enjoy my book. I've got a couple more videos coming out, so stay tuned.